Hey guys, welcome to the 7 Streams of Income training. I am so excited that you have opted in for this training. I'm Tenita Johnson, author and book strategist. Over the past 10 years, I've authored 15 books. Yes, 15. And I've had the honor of helping hundreds of authors write, publish, and market their next book project. In this training, we're going to talk about 7 streams of income that you can create just from one book. And a lot of people write a book and they don't think about their book as a business, but you're not just writing a book. You're building a brand, you're starting a business. You are literally building an empire when you write a book. Grab your pen and paper, your iPad, your tablet, whatever you use to take notes, a Word document. Listen, we're about to get started. Here we go. So the first income stream that we'll talk about is the paperback book. So while a lot of people may feel like the paperback book is obsolete and it's extinct, it is not. There are still people in the world who like to hold a physical book. They like to flip the pages. They like the look and feel of a physical book. The process of publishing a print book, whether it's paperback or whether it's hardback, is fairly simple. You're going to write your book in a Microsoft Word document. You need a professional editor. You need a professional cover designer. This is the process if you're going to self-publish your book. Now, if you're going with a traditional publisher like a Random House or a Baker & Taylor, they're going to do all of these things for you. However, if you are self-publishing, yes, you need a professional editor. Yes, you need a professional cover designer. You're going to need a typesetter to format the interior design of your book. You're going to need to file the copyright. All of those things come into play. And last but not least, you're going to have to find a printer. Whether it's a local printer or a print-on-demand company, you're going to need to find a printer to print your books. So many people don't know the difference between traditional publishing and self-publishing. With a traditional publisher, you're often going to work with a big publishing house that fits the bill and puts all the money up front for your book project. That means you have $0 invested in the process. Now, here's the thing. They will take royalties until they get their money in return, until they get their return on investment. When you self-publish, you are responsible for putting money up front, but then whatever you sell, you get 100% of those proceeds. So when you self-publish, you're responsible for all of the investment up front, but you also keep all of your royalties. There is no middleman. So my personal recommendation is for every first-time author to self-publish. Number one, it gives you access to the publishing process. You get up close and personal experience with going through the publishing process as opposed to someone doing it for you. In addition, you keep all of your royalties. You get 100% of your book sales as a self-published author. Number three, you get to control when your book is released to the marketplace. No one is telling you the release date. No one is telling you their creative ideas regarding the cover. You get to choose everything. So a lot of times bookstores may do books on consignment. They may take a 65-35 split. Sometimes it's a 70-30 split. But as the author, you get the 30 or you get the 35%. They get the bulk of the money. It's the same thing with Amazon. Amazon takes a portion of your proceeds. The number one way to guarantee that you get 100% of your royalties from your book is for people to go to your website. Number two, the ebook. So we live in a digital society. A lot of people are on social media. They're on Amazon, they're on YouTube, they're on their Kindle, they're on their iPad, they're on their phone. Everything is digital and we live in a fast-paced society. So you definitely want to have your book available in e-form. Why is that important? People need to be able to read your book on the run. If I'm in the doctor's office, if I'm on a road trip, I need to be able to read your book from my device and not have to take a physical book with me to the doctor's office or on the road. So let's talk about the process of getting your ebook out into the marketplace. First, of course, you need to write the book. After you've written the book, you need to have it professionally edited. You're also going to need a professional cover designer. Once you have that professional cover design and the book has been professionally edited, you have one of two options. You can upload the ebook to Amazon Kindle or you can upload the ebook for sale from your personal website. Again, you're going to get 100% of the proceeds if someone downloads that ebook from your website. So for every book project that I've done personally, they're all available in ebook format, and I encourage all of my clients to do the same. Number 3 is the audiobook. So for my first book that I released, 100 Words of Encouragement, I was able to do the audiobook. Now, this is a double CD, which is pretty ancient. However, I still have it in MP3 format. So it's available by download on cdbaby.com. Don't judge me, but I do still have the physical CDs. So the process for your audiobook is you have the choice of you actually reading your book or hiring a professional reader to read your book for the audiobook. Now, today there's Audible on Kindle where people can listen to audiobooks. A lot of people like to listen to audiobooks in the car or while they're on road trips, on the way to work, if people have a long commute. So for the person who doesn't have time to pick up the physical copy, for the person who doesn't like reading on e-readers, they may be able to listen to your physical book in the car. So here's the process for recording your audiobook. I had the pleasure of recording my audiobook at a professional recording studio. I opted to read my book myself, and then I worked with a sound engineer to get the sound effects and to get the music behind the words of encouragement. So there are multiple ways to get your audiobook out to the marketplace. You can upload it to websites such as cdbaby.com. You can connect with Audible on Kindle, Amazon. You can also upload your audiobook to your own website. My personal recommendation is for you, again, to send people to your personal website. That's your home, that's your hub, that's where you get 100% of the proceeds. Number 4, conferences or workshops. Now, here's where it gets a bit tricky, and most people may not think about this, but each chapter in your book can literally be a conference or a workshop. So literally, you want to take each chapter of your book and create key points from each chapter. That may be 3 to 5 points, 5 to 7 points, but take each key point and make a presentation of it. So in my book, When the Smoke Clears, A Phoenix Rises, literally, I highlighted the fires of life that I've been through and that I've overcome. So what does that look like in workshop or conference form? One of my chapters speaks to suicide and depression. So that's a workshop just for men and women who may be battling with suicide and depression. Now, I also talked about blended family and marital issues. So that's another workshop just for married couples. I talked about financial issues in my marriage. That's a totally different workshop or conference for couples who may be battling with finances in their marriage. So that's 3 workshops right there just from one book. Number 5, the stage production. So this was a game changer for me. I literally was able to take my book, When the Smoke Clears, A Phoenix Rises, and transform it into a stage play. I was able to hire a director and a producer to not only do the casting call so that I could find talented, quality people to be in the production, but also for them to manage my rehearsals, to manage my venue, to manage my wardrobe, to manage my makeup, all of the things that go into making a successful production. I was able to build a team based off of this book to produce a successful stage production. We were able to produce a sold out stage production to over 500 people in just one weekend, yielding double my investment. It was definitely more than well worth the money for me. And it took my brand to the next level. The benefits of doing the stage play were endless for me. Not only did I get ticket sales to sold out productions, but I also got book sales and t-shirt sales at the actual production. So people literally came out of the theater to my table and they wanted to buy my products after the stage production. Number 6, short films or movies. Many blockbuster films or movies started as just books. So think about Steve Harvey's Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. Think about The Color Purple. Think about For Color Girls Only. These were all books before they became blockbuster films. In the same way, I was able to take my short story from Marriage Uncut Part 2, which is called Hardwood Floors. I was able to take my short story from that and turn it into a short film called what happens in this house. So again, just like with the audiobook, I'm going to hire a professional production company. So they're going to help me with my casting call. They're going to help me with the filming of the short film. They will help with the actors and actresses, the makeup, the wardrobe, all of those things that you need for a successful film or movie. Hire the professionals. You have the option of writing your script for your movie or short film and totally producing the film yourself, doing a local or even a national tour for your film, renting a theater, doing a red carpet event, or you can pitch the actual film script to a larger company like a Netflix or a Hulu. So you have to do what's best for you, but you have the option of writing the script, producing it independently, and doing a local launch for your film, or you can definitely opt to get it picked up by a Netflix or a Hulu and make it an original. And finally, number 7, webinars. So in my book, Grammatically Incorrect, When Commas Save Your Sentences and Your Reputation, I was able to take multiple chapters of this book and break them into a webinar. So here's what that looks like. Part of the book talks about 10 keys for editing. So I can take those 10 keys and now turn that into one 30 to 45 minute webinar. In addition, I talk about the different types of editing, the different types of editors you should look for when you're working on your book project. So just the different types of editors and editing can be a separate webinar, 30 to 45 minutes. Teach the webinar and pitch the book at the end of the webinar for a discounted price. So in addition to webinars allowing you to get more brand exposure and more exposure for your book, this is also a great time for you to develop your target market as well as produce an audio book, if you haven't already, from your physical book, because you can record the audio file of that webinar and upload it to your website or Amazon. One of the other benefits of a webinar is the fact that people don't have to be in your city or your state. They don't even have to be in your country to hear the content that you want to offer to them. So it's all virtual. People from around the world can join you and get the content that you're offering them. And that's it. Those are the 7 streams of income tied to just one book. Even if you implement 2 to 3 of the streams, immediately you will see insurmountable results. So I hope and pray that you got something out of this training that you can implement right away as it relates to your book project. Now, if you're looking for more in-depth, individualized help with your book project to move it forward and get it done, I started something called my virtual book strategy program. It's just for you. In this 1-hour call, not only are you going to gain clarity on your target market and clarity on your message, but I'm going to work with you personally to help you get unstuck in those areas where you can't seem to move forward, so we can get your book done and out in record time. So what are you waiting for? Click the button below, set an appointment with me, and let's get started.